Got lost there for a minute. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we got a pretty good project going on because we're going to take delivery of all our hay for the winter. I got about 160 rows of hay coming, and we're going to be unloading up here at the road and bringing all the hay back to the hay barn and stacking it. I got the hay barn pretty well cleaned out, and by the end of the day, this barn should be pretty full of hay. If everything goes well and we don't have any problems with the tractor or the trucks or anything like that. Alright, so got our first load unload. He's gonna bring 15 at a time. Had to change the plans. They had problems with the 18-wheeler, so just gonna be hauling it by gooseneck. He lives about 30 minutes down the road, so with loading and hauling, it's about an hour round trip for him. So by the time I haul these 15 bales back to the barn, and he should be starting to head back this way. So anyway, let's get to hauling these bales back and stacking them in the barn. So the bales are a little bit wet from where they've been sitting in the field. He probably cut this hay a couple weeks ago and it's been sitting in the hay field and just now getting a chance to deliver it. So had a few rains, so it's soaked up a little bit of water on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is just bring it back here and stack it, and where the wet spots are kind of exposed on top and on the side. And then that'll give the sun a chance to dry it out, and before I stack it in the barn, because I don't want to stack it wet. If I stack it wet, it's going to mold and mildew, and it'll hurt your hay a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing. We're moving around a little bit more than we want to, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, so 2 loads down, waiting on the 3rd. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about the hay while we're waiting on our next load. These are 4x5 bales, which means they're 4 foot wide, or would be tall the way it's sitting right there, but 4 foot wide and 5 foot in diameter. It's not the biggest bale you can get, but it's not the smallest. These bales weigh around 1,000 pounds, maybe a little more. So quite a bit of feed in one of these bales. This is Bahalia grass. It's when this old grass sits out in the sun for a little while, it kind of browns up on the outside, but when they bust into this hay, it's gonna be some pretty good quality hay there. Smells good. So the reason I'm unloading up in front of the house, in front of the farmhouse up here, it's just easier for him to get in with his gooseneck and that circle drive. I can unload up there. I can bring 2 bales at a time back here. I can be bringing it back here while he's going to get the 2nd load. A little bit harder to turn around here, back behind the barn, especially when I start getting a bunch of hay back here. So it's just easier for him to pull up there in the circle drive and me to unload it up there and then bring it back here while he is going to get the other load. So this is how we're hauling it. We got this is kind of a set of hay forks, I call them. It's not a spear, it's a forks. It goes, slides underneath it. You can pick up any size bale with it. And you can also pick up some pallets and other things with it. And then of course the front end loader has got a spear on it. And it's got 1 long spear and it's got 2 shorter spears, and it pokes into the hay bale, and the 2 shorter spears keep it from spinning as you're transporting it. So we're gonna feed about 90 tons of hay this year. So that is the most expensive thing you buy all year long for your cows is your hay. We're probably gonna feed at least 4 months of the winter. And depending on next spring and depending on how cold it gets this fall, you could feed 5 or 6 months of the year. So you wanna have plenty of hay just in case you have a cold winter and a spring takes a little while to get cranked into gear. So the best way to store your hay is going to be in a hay barn if you got it. You can set it outside like this. Of course, it'd be stacked a little different, and it'll keep, but it doesn't keep as well in the barn. Like I said, I got some left from last year in the barn, and it's just like feeding this year's hay. Hadn't been wet, it's been dry stored. So, and I'll feed it first this year, just because it is a little older hay. But the hay barn is 60 by 60, counting the 2 lean-tos, 60 by 60. The lean-to right here will hold about 52 bales. It'll hold 13 runs of 4. The other lean-to, if I wasn't feeding cows in it, would hold another 52 bales. So that's 104 bales. So the main part of the hay barn is I can put 20 across and 13 deep, so about 260 more bales in the middle if I really cram it in here. So 260 plus 104, 364 bales is what the barn will hold total. I don't buy that much. Like I said, I feed in this lean-to, and then I'll leave me a pathway down through here so I can feed and get out of the weather and maybe park a tractor. You want to stack your hay inside because it stores a whole lot better. If I don't feed it all this winter, I can feed it next winter and it'll be the same. Actually, this is some leftover hay from last year, and I'll feed it first this year, and it'll be just as good. I think I may hear the hay man coming back. No. Okay, we're back. It's a couple days later. The hay's been stacked up since Friday. Today is Tuesday. Took a little time off to dove hunt and spend time with family, but we're back at the farm. Got to get these 60 bales that were delivered Friday in the barn. We're gonna put these in the lean-to. The lean-to should hold about 50 bales, and then we'll stack some in the middle with this old hay. All right, let's get on it. All right, guys, well, that's about it for today. I'm about wore out. If you like these videos, man, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up and share with your friends so we can grow the channel. All right, guys, welcome back to the farm. Today is day 2 of the hay delivery. We got 60 rows first day. Hopefully we can get the rest of it today. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, it's coming. So got to get a few things cleaned out of the barn, get some things hooked up on the tractor, and the hay man should be here just shortly. So day 2, hay day in the SIPP. All right, guys, so we got 2 loads delivered. Brought 15 the first load, 17 the second load, so 32 bales today. Probably gonna get at least two more loads today, but we'll just see what this weather does. Man, it's beautiful out here. It's about 80 degrees. It's cloudy. Got Hurricane Sally to the south of us, so may get a little rain, may not. I don't know. I really don't need it on this hay. I need to let it dry just a little bit before I put it in the barn, but if it does, it does. We'll take it. Whatever the good Lord gives us. So these bales are just like the bales of the day. They've been sitting in the field for a little while, so kind of wet on the bottom. Sun's not shining as much. Sun's not shining as much as it was the other day, so it may take a little bit longer to dry, but we'll stack them like this right here with the wet spots exposed. Of course, you get a wet spot here, and then I turned it with the wet spots up top, and the wind's blowing pretty good, so they should dry pretty good. The least amount of moisture we can have in these bales when we stack them, the less chance of mold, mildew, and waste on the hay bale in the barn. So anyway, we're gonna stack them like this. It's only a 30% chance of rain today, and I believe none the next 2 days, so I may just leave them out here about 3 days and let them dry. But yeah. All right, guys, well, it's been a long day. I didn't film much of the unloading process, but we got 100 bales here delivered today, plus the 60 we got the other day, so we got our 160 bales. And then plus we had about 20 left over from last year, so about 180 bales hopefully will get us through the year. All right, guys, so we're back at the barn. It's day 3. We got just a little bit more hay. We got about 48 more rows to put in the barn, and we'll be done with this project, and we'll have all our hay for the year. All right, guys, well, that's the one we were looking for, the last one. Barn's full. So if you like what we're doing here, guys, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends so we can grow the channel. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video on Life in the SIPP.